I've done it.
And there we go. There's our presentation and the agenda and all the rest of it. So welcome to Wellingborough Community Resilience Forum for everybody here and obviously watching the recording. I'm just going to click through and tell you all about bees. And apparently Val is a bee expert, so I'm looking forward to her.
I'm not a bee expert, just some tips.
Okay. Right, so this is the agenda for today. Welcome. We've done some introductions already. So we're going to dive straight into bees and then have a quick look at what we're sort of looking at. This isn't going to take as long as all of this says here because the presentation isn't as long as it sometimes is anyway. But it's a light-hearted view at bees and how it's sort of, how can I put it, how it's like us. So firstly, what do bees do for us? They're busy pollinating all of our plants. 90% of wild plants and 75% of leading global crops depend on them on their pollination. So if it weren't for bees, we wouldn't have an awful lot of food or wild plants. One out of every 3 mouthfuls of our food depends on pollinators such as bees. So that obviously includes a lot of things like meat and dairy and all the rest of it. But obviously a lot of the stuff we do eat are either grains or vegetables. Crops that depend on pollinations are up to 5 times more valuable than those that not. So the point of this slide, apart from telling you all a bit about bees, is that you can see that just one particular thing can be really, really valuable. And it's worth looking after them. So this is the same for bees as it is for people sort of in your organisation and in your community. Do you agree, Val?
I do, yes.
We should move on. Okay, and just like us, bees like to go home. So it's quite funny, honey, I'm home. But many bees are social bees, like honeybees and bumblebees, and they often live together in hives or nests. Or, of course, you get the unsociable bees, like you do people, who like to live generally in the ground or go underground, like if you like unsociable people would be. But
bumblebees do that.
Yeah, exactly that. So bees can be found in many locations, some surprising. These include marshes, shingle, dunes, soft cliffs, heathlands, wetlands, chalk, grasslands, quarries, gravel pits, seawalls, allotments, believe it or not, and even post-industrial lands. So, a bit like people, they're found everywhere. There's a picture of a swarm on their nest on a tree. Obviously, we also do keep them in hives. So they can be found in a lot of places and they are very valuable. Again, the similarity between bees and people is that people live in all different sort of places and different climates, and some are sociable, some are not. Some like to share, some live in communal housing, some live in the middle of nowhere. So there's a lot of different sort of things, but essentially, just like a bee, their house is their home. Now, not a lot of people know this, but bees actually rely on something very similar to our road and rail networks to get around. So imagine trying to travel around Britain without our road and rail network, or imagine if 9 out of 10 miles of every road just didn't exist. The country would soon ground to a halt. Bee lines are essentially the same sort of thing. They're a series of insect pathways running through our towns and countryside. So that's true, you quite often see bees flying in one particular area, going up and down in one particular line, and that's because they have this thing called bee lines. Some clever people at university have worked out that this is the way it is. They link together existing wildlife areas, creating a network like the railway that will weave across the British landscape. This is particularly important when habitats are sort of vanishing fairly quickly. It means that if there's bees in one particular area that gets destroyed, they know where they can go to carry on sort of doing bee things. But a bit like our communications and our transport systems, if we find that suddenly an area, and this isn't quite so true now, but it certainly was in the past, for instance, coal mine closes or unemployment rockets because an employer's moved out of an area, we know where we can go across the country or within our community even to go and get some more work or resources. They're clever things then, bees. I do like that picture.
Yeah.
So obviously we have a duty of care to everybody in our community, but I'd like to extend that to our bees as well. So not particularly at this time of year, because you'll find that most bees that are just resting tend to be like the queens who are just literally having a rest. But certainly in a month or two's time, you'll find that bees will start getting dehydrated, will start being a bit sort of overwhelmed by the weather. And you'll find them sort of almost flaking out here and there. So best advice is to stick them on a flower if you can do it sort of calmly and safely. If there's no bee-friendly flowers around, then why not, basically? But the mix of 50-50 white sugar and water will give bumblebees enough one-off energy boost to give them the carbohydrates they need to fly. Apparently brown sugar's no good for them, Belle, because they don't sort of digest that well.
No.
So you have to do it, and obviously don't leave them out in the sun because you're not really kind of going to help them rehydrate and re-energize by leaving them to dry out again. But that's the same thing with people in our community, like here at the Eco Hub, which is where we host these community resilience forums, our happy cafes, everybody's invited. Here comes Karen, it might be Marion, I don't know. Let's have a look, see who's coming. It's Karen. Oh, she's logging on somewhere. There we go. You've missed half my bees.
With me? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I've been on Zoom meetings since 11 o'clock this morning and I'm fed up with them really, but I thought I'd better join you for a few minutes.
Seems we're a little bit short on numbers, but there we go. We were just talking about reviving a bee and how it sort of refers, how it's similar to sort of reviving people in our community.
Oh, God.
I was saying at the Eco Hub, we have something called a Happy Cafe where we offer free tea and coffee on a Tuesday lunchtime and a Thursday lunchtime. And yesterday we had 6 people in here suffering my cooking, but it was all completely free and they all loved it. So but you don't know how these things are going to turn out, do you? But it's nice just to sort of get people in, talking, socialising, and again, very similar to sort of looking after a bee, which is what the presentation's about. I'm going to carry on, Karen, but it's all being recorded, you lucky thing. So if you wanted to find out more about bees, I'd say it, you can watch the first sort of, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes of this presentation.
Okay.
But a bit like in our community, anybody can help a bee out. This is not just resuscitating a bee, this is trying to sort of give bees a place to live, offer a nice environment for them to thrive in. So we can all do our bit, whether it's in our gardens, balconies or windowsills. I've got plants, for instance, the eco group, dare I say, I've got plants in the community allotment that are successional flowering. So from about sort of the end of February, well into November, there's always something flowering so that the bees have something to eat, and that's planned. It doesn't sometimes look planned, but it is planned. But we can do that in our gardens, like I say. Native flowers are the best. Things like wildflowers, like borage and comfrey, primrose, foxgloves and marigolds, even weeds like dandelions and daisies and stuff like that, bees love them. And that is actually exactly the same as people. People like to have something they know and recognise. So if you're trying to create an environment for people to thrive in, then it has to be something that they kind of recognise. I think some organisations, and possibly the Eco Group where we're based, do sometimes create all these new things and people are completely unsure what they are. So until people get used to it, it can be a bit of a slow burner. Any questions on the Save Our Bees screen?
No.
I've stunned you into silence, haven't I?
Yeah.
Don't know if that's a good thing, but it's a fun one. This could be possibly the last one because it's quite funny. So I've heard that both of yourselves like a bit of a dance, and so do bees apparently. So honeybees, as this one here that is doing, have a dance move called the waggle dance. So it's not actually sort of just dancing, it's a rather clever way of communicating between themselves and their mates to find the best sort of food, or source, sorry, of food. So I'm sure it's quite an exciting thing to see, really, but apparently it took researchers at Sussex University a couple of years to decode the waggle dance, and they found out why they were doing it. They weren't just having sort of dancing along to the Bee Gees, dare I say it, but it must be quite a sight, and I'm sure beekeepers of all have noticed this happening in their lives. So talking about communicating, and that was actually the point of that slide, is that without communication, we don't get very far, do we? So bees do it with wiggling. I'm sure if I started wiggling at you two, I don't think I'd get very far. This is why we have to talk and do presentations like this. But another way of wiggling, if you like, or communicating is via the internet. And something that we try and do as a group of organisations, as Wellingborough organisations, is try and put on what everybody's got on. So if you go to the Wellingborough organisations site, there is a calendar button around there somewhere. You get sort of what's on the side here, and it tells you what's on. And the library contribute themselves. They've got a login to this. And there's a couple of others, obviously, including ourselves and including the Wellingborough Eco Group on there. There's also Glamis Hall, Hemingwell Community Centre. Karen, if you've got anything on you'd like me to add to that, do let me know and I can put it on.
Yeah. Okay.
Myself, Val, as well. So it's our calendar, just to try and share everything with the town. I know the library tend to use it if they're trying to find out what else is in the town. And also the town council are aware of it too, so they've used it in the past as well. So interesting look, because sometimes you look at other websites and it just tells you what they're doing rather than what everybody's doing. So yeah, working with our forum partners, are you guys and other people in the community, published by me under my Co-op Member Pioneer badge, or hat if you like. We aim to sort of bring you all of the local events and regular services taking in and around Wellingborough. And I shout it on social media saying, wow, what's on Wellingborough? So can't get much better than that, can it, ladies?
No.
No, I'm glad you agree. That was quite impressive, that. I like that.
I'll have to have a look at that. So what was the website?
If you go to wellingborough.org, there's all sorts of things on there.
Wellingborough.org, yeah.
Yeah, just have a look at that. There's all sorts on there. There's a blog. There's things to do with the Ukrainian refugees. There's lists, links to lots of different organisations from some of the blogs that we've done, and some of the advent calendars that Wellingborough Eco Group has done. A lot of that stuff's on there.
Okay.
This calendar is quite a useful thing. We did used to have a newspaper, but the company that was hosting it went bust. That was quite useful because it was an interesting way of sharing Twitter. But things change. That's the
Yeah.
way. But anyway,
Can I tell you something about bees?
of course you can. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
As you're telling me about bees, I'm going to flick to the front again, and I won't go mad. I'm just going to let Karen read the screens as you're telling me all about bees. I'm sure she wants to know.
Hmm.
Don't sound too excited, Karen. And of course, this is going about as fast as I do. You tell us about bees then, Val.
Did you know, and this is something I learned recently, if you put a shallow plate or dish in the garden with some water, with some pebbles in, especially when the weather's dry, bees need water to survive. So what happens is they find the dish, they stand on the pebbles and they can drink the water. Otherwise, they'll drown if they go in the water. So that's something I learned this week. So I've got a dish out in the garden now. Also, I'm going to talk about UW because one
Have
of
they got something to do with bees?
hang on a minute.
Hold on a second.
We sponsored some beehives last year on National Bee Day.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. You know, we're not just a supplier that takes people's money. We do put something back into the environment. So we apart from our trees that we plant, we sponsor some beehives, and we have. Can you see this?
I'll come to it. Are you actually reading this, Karen? I'm just showing you a couple of the other screens, and then I'll get out of this thing for you.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, you was? Sorry, am I gone too far?
Yeah, I think I've missed one.
Did you read that one?
No.
Okay, we'll have a look at your bee thing in a second, Val.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry, Jonathan. I'll read it and because I can concentrate better.
Okay, fair enough. See, there's me expecting you could do two things at once.
No.
No, fair enough. I'll just finish off the last slide then, and then you can read it later in your leisure when I stick it on the interweb on YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be better. It'd be easier.
It's all very exciting stuff. This is from the World Wildlife Fund, by the way. All these facts.
Okay.
What we did earlier was just try and sort of give the similarities between sort of us, if you like, and bees, just to make it a bit more relevant. But any excuse to talk about bees, I don't need one really, but that's got to be my favourite one with the dancing bee. But you've seen that one already.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You've seen this one.
Mm.
All right. And the last one I promised before Val shows us her bee thing and UW Club. There we go. I'll just run through this, then we can turn it off, Val.
Okay.
So we can talk to each other to make Wellingborough a better place to live in with this forum, which is why we do it. But did you know that you can also use our email list, WhatsApp group and Facebook group to have conversations and to share stuff? I don't know how you are on Facebook, Val, but there's a Facebook group called, called the Community Resilience Forum.
Right.
That sort of stuff. We've also got a WhatsApp group if you want to join that.
Yeah, I'm fine with Facebook. I might be on it anyway, but I have such a lot of things to do. I don't always read things.
Fair enough. Well, what we normally do after we've had our presentation is we talk about the new activities and events that we have on. But you're going to tell us all about bees and UW Club.
Well, I've just told you some.
Yep.
But also, can you see that?
And now I've got you on screen.
Okay. These are packets of wildflower seeds. To get your hands dirty is all about what we're doing up in the Brecon Beacons at Bryn Arrow, where we've already planted 200,000 trees. We're teamed up with the Woodland Trust, and we've signed another 5-year contract to plant another 1 million up there. So we've got our own UW woodland. So get your hands dirty is all about something else we're encouraged to do is go out and litter pick and get sponsorship and get the community involved. So quite a lot of our partners do that from time to time, and we've got our own bags that are for litter picking. What else do we do? But basically, these packets of seeds are available to us as partners, and the whole idea was that we got a packet of seeds off our shop, which are free. But I buy these I get 40 at a time packs, because my customers get a birthday card from me every year. Okay, and in that birthday card, I've been sending these packets of seeds out. They cost me about £1.20 packet. And I've been sending them out with a little slip of paper to tell people that we're encouraging people to plant wildflowers. Here's a packet of seeds for you. If you can't do that, please pass them on to somebody else. So that's all to help the bees, basically. There's a lot of things people don't know about us and Utility Warehouse, but we do help the environment a lot. And our chosen charity, one of our chosen charities this year again, is the Wildlife Trust. So we do quite a lot of stuff, really. Just thought you might like to know that.
It's always good to know stuff. If you don't know stuff, you don't stand a chance, do you?
No, not at all. And apart from all that, we save people money. So how good is that, eh?
Tickety-boo. It's tickety-boo.
Yeah.
Is there anything you do with bees, Karen? So we've got bees on the brain?
Just got a lot of plants in the garden that the bees quite like, and weeds. So, yeah. Apparently, a bee came in our car yesterday while we were driving along, a big bumblebee, and that was a bit scary, actually. It was a massive thing.
Yeah, I get with cats all the time, yeah.
But, yeah, anyway.
Quite a shocker, isn't they? Yeah. Well, as you know, the allotment, you've got quite a few wildflowers, dare I say, on your plot at the moment at the allotment. So you're doing something there. But
They generally like purple and yellow, don't they, bees? Because I've got some courgettes growing and they're hovering around the flowers on there. And they certainly like lavender. Anything blue or purple, they like.
Yeah, obviously they look different colours to them, of course, but
Yeah.
they say they go mad for my borage and comfrey up at the allotment. Don't matter what colour it is, but so we've got plenty of that. And of course, that's a bonus. Chop it all down after it stops flowering. It makes amazing compost. So
I watched a bee a couple of years ago. I had a sunflower, and it was in the centre of the sunflower, getting all the pollen. But I noticed that as it was going around getting the pollen, it was all sticking to its fur. I watched it for ages.
That's what they do, isn't it? They collect it on their feet, I think, the pollen.
Yeah.
With massive boots on, that's the pollen.
Yeah.
Really? How can we relate that to people? Are there people going around collecting pollen? Well, there is really, isn't there? They need to have their food and stuff.
Yeah.
And quite often you sort of think of people as busy bees, don't you?
Yeah.
So, for instance, like some of the food banks in the town are obviously a vital source for people who are going through hard times at the moment. Funnily enough, I've just been back to Waitrose with about 100 of their crates because we have food sharers here at Wellingborough Eco Hub, which is also supported by the co-op at Redhill. But yeah, we get food from redeemed funds, which a lot of that comes from Waitrose. And we always seem to end up with the crates, which is good or bad. Do you know what I mean? Depending how many thousands you end up with. But quite a few now left back, so that's good. But things like our Tuesday afternoon session, which is 2 till 6, or at redeemed funds on Cowper Road, which is generally 10 till about 1 o'clock on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. or at Shakespeare Road, Redeem Funds again, which is Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. They finish at about 2. So there are a few spaces around. Obviously, there are others. One at the Hemingwell Centre on a Thursday. There's also one, oh, what are they called in the town? Come on, Karen, you know the one. The Daylight Centre have a food bank. Quite often, food banks aren't open to everybody. You have to kind of have a special slip of paper or a referral. But not here at the Eco Hub or Redeem Fund, should be glad to know. That's my little busy bee sort of punt. Are there any events going on that you'd like to share, the pair of you?
I will have a stall at Bassett's Park on the 3rd of June, which is the Rotary Club of Hatton. Yeah, fun day. So I've got to stand there. So anyone want to come talk to me, they can. I'm still and I'll have one at the carnival. And I'm still going to St Mark's Church, not every Saturday. I'm there tomorrow.
Okay.
To help, and basically I'm there in case people don't understand their bills. They can come and show them to me, and I'll explain them to them.
You still do the Victoria Centre as well?
Sorry?
The Victoria Centre don't have their warm space anymore, do they?
No, they finished that in March, I think. But I was down there quite a lot.
Yeah, you were.
That was quite an eye opener, really. Because I'm sure there were some people going in there for their food that didn't really need to. I have to say.
Yeah, myself included, to be fair. I was invited.
No, I'm not talking about you. You were invited to go.
I know. I did enjoy the food as well, I must admit. So, yeah, it was a good
talking about the people that came in at 10 o'clock and had a full English breakfast and then came back at 12 o'clock and had a lunch, basically.
Well, we can't.
Maybe I'm not as what's the word? Because I've spent an awful lot of time with people, generally over all of my life.
Yeah.
I just think there's certain people that just go for anything that's free, basically.
You always find
certain people like that, but you can't begrudge anybody. You don't know, do you?
You don't know people's personal circumstances. You can't judge. So
no, I know, but I do. I'm afraid.
Yeah, well.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll leave that one on the hook, I think. That
Yeah,
one.
probably.
Have you got anything going on, Karen?
Well, I'm still doing the disability group every Friday morning on Zoom, which is quite long today. And I'm also NN8 Writers is still happening once a fortnight on Zoom. But both things I need to advertise more, to be honest. We need more people. So I'm
proud, isn't it, the writers group, because we tried to do something here, and one chap from the Victoria Centre, I forgot what it's called now. Anyway, whoever he was really keen. Thomas Compton, he was really keen, and then it sort of, he wasn't. I was a bit like, oh, okay. So there you go.
That's what I mean, really.
Yeah, but anyway, that's people have their own choices and stuff. You can't say life's all about choices.
Yeah.
Anything else you do, Karen?
I don't know. Apart from support Marion.
There's a lot of chasing around after Marion going on, isn't there? And you're going to come down the allotment with me on a Wednesday, aren't you? I've been told. I don't think you've been given that email, but you're invited. I can pick you up on a Wednesday to take you down to the allotment so you can do your little bit and then join in with us if you wanted to.
I'm not available in the Wednesday mornings though, because I go to the Wellingborough Quakers on a Wednesday morning.
Well, you can walk up from there, and then I can. Well, you probably can't walk up from there, but
Can't walk up from there. I can't even walk from there.
What?
Well, I can't either, to be fair, so I know where you're coming from.
Where is the allotment?
The community allotment is on the Ladywell allotments off Findon Road. So you know the allotment you look at as you drive past. I don't know what's it called, Shiny Wheels on the roundabout.
Yeah.
just before you go down to Diana's. On the left, that's Ladywell allotments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we've got quite a big allotment down there now. We've kind of nicked all my allotment, but there we go. That's all good. And that's quite a popular thing now. We had, what do we have, 5 of us last week. Nice mix of people. We're getting on. We've planted quite a bit. Need to go down there later on water really because it's so hot. Yeah, no, it's a good do. So we've had the allotment there for probably 2 years now, hasn't it, Karen? It's been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it might be no, but more than that, was it?
I know I've had the tree nursery down there for a lot longer. But there you go. Anyway,
That's
so,
good.
yeah,
So what are you planting then?
apart from trees, we've got a lot of brassicas. I've got cauliflowers, cabbage. I've got some chard. What else have we got? Loads of potatoes, obviously, loads of parsnips. I've got loads of parsnips to dig up and rhubarb to harvest. Stacks of raspberries down there. We've got loads of tomato plants in. We've got three greenhouses down there.
Fantastic. Oh, excuse me. So what do you do with the food then? Does that go to the food bank?
Depending if there's people that are volunteering down there, then obviously they get first dibs on it.
Yeah.
If there's any overs, then it comes to our food sharers on a Tuesday, so that people can take it away for free.
Brilliant. So they're getting really nice fresh vegetables then.
Absolutely that. Absolutely that. I just need to dig up the parsnips before they all bolt. So it's one of those. It's a battle with the weeds.
I mean, we've only got a fairly small, well, a smallish garden.
Yeah.
I've got a greenhouse, but I plant vegetables in pots. So I've got runner beans and monge-toot and courgettes and cucumbers and tomatoes and cabbages, and I've got a hydro veg as well. So there's cabbages and lettuces and stuff in there. So yeah, plant a lot of stuff.
Good for beans as well. Yeah, we've got all that stuff as well. The courgettes and the beans. I've forgotten about it. And got 4 cucumber plants down there. So it could be amazing. It just depends on the weather. Do you know what I mean? If we have another cold splat in the next couple of weeks, then it can all kill. And if it's hot like this all the time, again, it's almost impossible to keep it all going. But we'll see. Hot and wet is what we want down the allotment.
Yeah.
So who instigated that in the first place? Was that you, Jonathan?
Yeah, it was little old me. The story of it is that I had an allotment down there. There was a plot next to it that was basically a rubbish tip, full of weeds all the time. It's got about half the old Duke of York pub down at the bottom of Queensway.
Yeah.
So that's given us quite a few bricks to edge the paths and things, which is a bonus. But I just got sick and tired of looking at it. And I thought, do I need any more land? No, I don't. Let's have a community allotment. And it wasn't massive, but it was big enough. But what happened last year, obviously, I was unable to do it myself, my bit, which was normally immaculate. So we've kind of taken it over, and it's now one big community allotment. There's bees down there as well, funnily enough. We've got 4 beehives. A lovely lady called Martin looks after them.
Right.
Bees don't like me at all. They tend to sting me quite a bit, but she said it's because I smell too much. So obviously I'm going to have to use a different type of shower gel, I think. There you go. So either that or I'm trying to weed in one of those bee lines we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. You'll have to move aside a bit.
Exactly that. But yeah, there's a lot of bees down there, which is good. And obviously there's Martin's bees as well. So everything's getting really well pollinated, put it that way. And yeah, I think I'll get a jar of honey or 2 a year for being stung every 5 minutes. So there you go. It's probably worth it, I suppose. But there we go.
No, I did come down to one of your dates and you weren't there. When was
There
it?
were a few dates over in February that I published, and then the weather was terrible. So
No, I don't mean there. I mean Glamis Hall, actually. I sat and chatted to Joe for an hour instead. When was that?
I see. Crikey, I don't.
It was a Friday.
That would have been the kids' event. We have Eco Club for Kids on a Friday, 10 till 2, and I'm not there for that, I'm afraid.
It was that, I think.
Yeah, no, I spend enough time here without sort of babysitting the kids as well.
Oh,
So we don't, like the eco group is not one man. We have lots of people doing lots of different bits, which is good because it works well. What else was I going to say? I suppose if you want to catch me though, like I'm here, like I said, those two happy cafes, 10 till 2, sorry, 12 till 2 on a Tuesday and Thursday, 2 till 6 for swap shop food sharers, and Tuesday tidy ups, Tuesday afternoons. And we're a chess champion. Is anybody any good at chess? Karen, you look like somebody who likes chess.
no.
Game of chess, but I'm no champion.
Oh, well, there you go. It's our chess club tonight for Fun Fridays. Every Fridays, there are a couple of interruptions. Obviously, we had the Wendell Walk a couple of weeks ago. Next week, not tonight, next week, we've got the bingo night for the Save Our Trees thing down at St Andrew's Church on Kingsway. That's 6:30. I think you bought a ticket for that, haven't you, Karen?
Have we got a ticket for the bingo stuff?
Not yet, but we will do.
Apparently we haven't yet, but we will do.
I thought I saw your name come up on the list. Okay.
When's the pub thing you do again?
Green drinks, first Tuesday night of the month, which is actually a week on Tuesday, at the Queen's Head on Broad Green. We tend to get, I don't know, anywhere between 5 and 10 people there. We talk about loads of stuff, supposed to be about the environment, but quite often it's not. It's generally about current affairs, and we generally have a good old chinwag. And of course, a couple of drinks that don't necessarily have to be green.
So it's the Queen's Head, isn't it?
The Queen's Head on Broad Green. So what we do, we try and support a local pub, and that's my local pub. So that sort of was where we do. But there's a nice kind of corner. There's a nice room in there that's open to everybody, but it's nice and snug. You could hear everybody. You're not interrupted by the football or loud music. So it just works. It just works really nicely.
Okay, I'll see if I can persuade Rob down there. So that's the 13th, is it?
That's the if that's that Tuesday, that's that Tuesday, that sounds like miles away. I think that's the Tuesday before that, which is going to be the 6th.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that'll be the 6th.
That's a Monday. And
That's
what
Tuesday.
time is it? What time?
It's 7 till 9.
Okay, I'll see, because we got a leaders call that night.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
With my eco group hat on, I'll point to the sign rather than do anything else. There's a load of stuff that we've got this month as well, including Bassett's Close on the 3rd. So I'm glad you've reminded us about that, because I had forgotten. A Great Well Homes Customer Involvement Day at Tide Barn on Friday the 2nd. We've got to do some recycling games. So you can see what I'm going to be doing on my bank holiday Monday, trying to make some games up. What else have we got? We've got the Repair Cafe on the 10th, which is popular. I think you've been to that, Val, haven't you?
The what?
Repair Cafe.
No, I haven't.
All right, well, you can bring anything you like along that's broken and we'll try and fix it for you. If you can book it in on the website, then you've got more chance of us fixing it, put it that way.
Okay.
We've also got our 2-hour tidy up this Saturday, i.e. tomorrow. It's the last Saturday of the month. That's at the Hemmingwell. So we might have a bit to pick up. We generally do the park and around the shops and behind the shop and stuff. So that's from 10 till 2, outside what was the Well Cafe, by the shops, basically on that bank. And we tour the whole park. And I'm expecting quite a big sort of do for that, because it's bank holiday weekend. We certainly had a good 60th last bank holiday weekend in Castlefield, so that would be good. Other things, of course, I've already said, we've got the Tuesday tidy ups every Tuesday, 2 till 6. Anybody can come borrow litter picking, equipment, bags, fruit, and have a little tidy up either around this area or take them away and bring them back to do their own area. There's food sharers that I've told you about, which is a food sharing afternoon. Lots of food that has just gone past its date from the co-op, from Waitrose, overs from redeemed funds. Lots of people contribute to that. So last couple of weeks, we had 77 2 weeks ago, 55 last Tuesday, so 3 days ago. At the same time, there's the swap shop. So you can bring anything in you like and swap it for anything you like, or just give us a small donation. We've got teddies, we've got bowls, we've got rails for the clothes, we've got more toys, we've got stacks of books, DVDs and CDs. And like I say, we call it the cheapest charity shop in town. So particularly good if you know somebody who's struggling at the moment and would like the essentials, or possibly not even the essentials. There's lots of stuff to sort of come in and choose. Talking about Tuesdays, on the 13th, and I'll put my co-op hat back on again, we're having something called Co-op Sustainability Live. At the same time as the swap shop and food sharers and Tuesday tidy ups, we're getting some marquees on the grass outside here, and we're going to have the co-op pioneers, myself included, telling everybody what the co-op's doing for climate change. So we're also going to have a happy cafe extended for the whole afternoon out there between 2 and 6. Sustainability Live is between 2 and 4, and there'll be lots of people on hand to sort of give people some help and advice on that. Might be saying you might want to come to, Val. Could be quite a busy event.
Yeah. Well, I have so many appointments in my diary, and that's why you don't see me very often.
Well, that's on the 13th, 2 till 6. And I might even give you your own gazebo. You've probably got your own gazebo, haven't you?
I have.
Well, there you go. You're more than welcome to pitch up next to the rest of it. And there could be an opportunity there for you to sort of talk to people about their bills.
Okay.
So there's
Is there a gazebo there?
There will be a gazebo there, but I'm planning to, like, I've got, I don't know, 3 pop-up green ones, and then one bigger one that's got sides and stuff. Obviously, I haven't got a crystal ball, so the weather could be rubbish, but I will be bringing all the gazebos and pop them up. So if you want to use one of mine, Val, I'm sure there'll be one available for you.
The only reason I say that, it'll be me on my own, and I can't get a gazebo in my car.
That's all right. Use one of ours then. Just bring yourself. You've got a table, bring it. Obviously, you've got the rest of it. I know you have.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Cool.
put that in. Sorry.
Anything you want to join in on that day? That could be quite a nice day, that.
Yeah, okay. I've put it in my diary.
Fabulous.
I'll come along about 1-ish. Is that right?
Yeah, come and set up about 1-ish. Like I say, the Happy Cafe starts at 12, so you can come anytime you like after then, basically.
Okay.
Come and have some food with us if you like. It's all free, and of course, tea and coffee is all free as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, lovely.
It should be a good day. Should be a good day.
I'll see if Rob will come with me. If not, I'll do it on my own.
Other things that are going on in the town, of course, as you've already said, Val, are the carnival. I know Glamis Hall have got a float. Wellingborough Eco Group and Save Our Trees are doing a joint float. So we're going to have trees walking on the outside, possibly with a bucket rattling it for the trees campaign. And then animals on bicycles and scooters in the middle of it, because obviously we're trying to recreate an avenue of trees with life in the middle of it. We don't get a big truck or anything. We're just going to kind of make a lot of noise about it.
How's it going with the trees?
How's it going with the trees?
Yeah.
Well, I think Marion's in the background there. She probably knows more than me. But we've got some legal action sort of waiting for the button to be pressed, I think is the nicest way of putting it. So it's a judicial review. I can't really say too much on it, to be fair, because I don't want to sort of put anything out there that's going to ruin what the solicitors are telling us. But basically, there is something there that's sitting there waiting to be pressed if things aren't going to be happening, which doesn't look like they are. But we are looking to raise more money to support that campaign. We've raised quite a bit already, but if we are going to go down that road, we do need a substantial more chunk. So that's why we've got a bingo night at St Andrews next Friday from 6:30. You can go to, if you have a look on social media, I posted about it again today, but if you go to saveourtrees.co.uk/bingo, it's got all the links and stuff on there. Do come, it's going to be fun. Yours truly is going to be the bingo caller, helped by my able assistant Martine. Well, I've got a feeling I'm going to be her maid. My able assistant, because I can't get my words out, obviously. But yeah, there's going to be a barbecue down there. There's going to be bound to be some cakes because there's a couple of people that really like making cakes. We're going to have a buffet. We're going to have a raffle. We're even going to have a kids game of bingo as well. So there's loads of stuff going on, loads of prizes, and it's only a £5 for the whole night.
Okay.
Right, just in prizes alone, but the fun value is there for everyone. So,
What time is that?
6:30 at St Andrews, so it's around the corner from you, Val.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Yeah. So do tell everybody as well, because like I say, it'd be nice to have a big old crowd in there. The more the merrier, really. And like I say, it's only £5 each person, so you can't really go out these days for a £5, can you?
No. I'm supposed to be going to 2020 cricket, but the guy that's organising that hasn't got enough people for a table, so that might not be happening. So if that doesn't happen, then I'll come down there.
Come to the bingo. Come to the bingo.
Can I pay on the door?
Yeah, of course you can. You can either pay on the door, or if you want to get a ticket to save yourself sort of queuing up or whatever, just go to, like I say, saveourtrees.co.uk/bingo. There's a checkout link on there for you.
Okay. Right. I've put it in my diary anyway. That's what I have to do. If I don't put it in there, something else happens and I miss out. Oh.
Stuff going on, isn't there? There's always stuff.
Yeah. And I am really busy, so yeah. Anyway, as ever, I've enjoyed our chat. Sorry for plain talking, but that's how I am, I'm afraid. That's me.
No, you've got to be like that. We'll show you something just before you go, because you might want to come to this, and I think you probably want to see this.
Yeah.
That's the that Tuesday that I was talking about for you.
Oh yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, because I can talk about what I've just told you about UW, really.
Absolutely, you're more than welcome. Like I say, you're welcome down here anytime. You know that, Val, but that could be a winner. That kind of there's stuff that you want to talk about there anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot of people hanging around. So we've got lots of chairs and stuff out. Try and make it like a village fete sort of feel out there.
Yeah. Well, they can enter our free prize draw anyway, because we've got a free prize draw to win 20k. That's a national draw, so I'll do that, and people can come and talk to me. Really.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Right. Are you off then? Is that a precursor to you going off?
Well, no, I don't need to go just yet.
You said you were building up to go there.
I do though, because I haven't eaten yet, and I need to go.
Oh, fair enough. I think unless anybody's got anything else to add, I've certainly probably talked enough for everybody. Like I say, do look at the website. I'm going to show you that as well because I'm a bit sad, and then I'll let you all go, you lucky things. So let's share. Yeah. You did both ask about that. Okay, hold on. It's not going to let me get to anything. What's this one? Right, you don't want to go through all that again, do you? Crikey, no. So if you type in wellingborough.org, like I've just done there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's trying to make me do whatever it's trying to do there. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's doing? Because there we are. Look, it'll work for me in a second. It's trying to log me in so I can edit pages, which is very nice of it, but completely unnecessary. So that's our website. It's not my website. It's everybody who comes to these community resilience forums and the whole town's website. If you look at all of these things on here, look, you've got all these things to look at.
Yeah.
I was talking about was this one at the bottom that says what's on Wellingborough.
Yes.
And if I've clicked on it, which I think I have, obviously not. There we go.
Ah, okay.
And that's what's on today, apparently. We're on this, but there's also been craft and chatter at the library. Something that my Bill loved a few years ago. Obviously, there's always the over 50s club at Glamis Hall. And there we go. That's what we've got on tonight. It's chess tonight. But again, like I say, you can go through the whole day, whole month, whole year, if you like.
Okay.
And there we go. Lots for you to look at.
Well
And
done.
if on there, just send me a message and I'll stick it on there. So your things you were talking about earlier, Karen, we can stick them on there for you.
Okay, I'll have to let you know the dates. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Fabulous.
All right. Great.
Well, all that remains for me to say is thank you very much for joining me.
That's all right. Didn't want you to be on your own.
That's very kind of you. I'll stop recording.
Bye.
Bye, Jonathan. Bye, Karen.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later. See you again soon. See you next month.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.